Good afternoon, everyone. The topic for the day is suffixes. As is the case always, I'll be dividing this lecture into certain sections. So without wasting any time, let us shift to the overview of this lecture. I'll be first of all discussing the definition of a suffix, which will be followed by types of suffixes, and finally I'll be talking about certain examples of suffixes. So let us start. What is a suffix? The basic definition of a suffix. Suffix is a group of letters placed at the end of a word to make a new word. So the important things here are group of letters. Suffix can either be a single letter or a group of letters which will be placed at the end of a word. Now with this addition of new letters, we'll be making new words. Contrary to this, prefix is group of letters or a single letter which is added before a word or a root of a word to form new words. Most common suffixes include able, al, ed, er, en, est, ful, ing, tion, ity, less, ly, ment, ous, ness, ious, es, and s. List is endless. It's just the important of the suffixes that I've listed here. Next up, let's discuss one example of a suffix. I'll be quoting a line here, and this line has been written by Ernest Hemingway, and it is from the text "For Whom the Bell Tolls." So the line is, he was breathing heavily from the climb, and his hand rested on one of the two heavy packs they had been carrying. If you pay attention to it, the underlined words have been made by adding suffixes. So which are the suffixes that have been added? First of all, ing has been added to breathing, ly has been added to heavy, ed has been added to rest, and ing has been added to carry. I repeat again, ing has been added to breathe, making it breathing, ly has been added to heavy, making it heavily, ed has been added to rest, making it rested, and ing has been added to carry, making it carrying. So ing, ly, ed, and ing again, in these examples, they are suffixes. Now next up, functions performed by a suffix. Now based on functions, there are broadly speaking two types of suffixes: derivational suffix and inflectional suffix. So let's pay attention to the definition of these things, these types of suffixes. A suffix which indicates the part of speech of a word is derivational suffix. Now these kind of suffixes, they will tell us the function performed by a word in a particular sentence, right? I can give you an example. So let's have a look at it. Brave is an adjective. We add suffix ly to it, it becomes bravely, which is an adverb. So ly is a derivational suffix here, which tells us the part of speech of the word. Now, contrary to this, inflectional suffix is the one which tells us whether the word is a plural or not. So, very common example, desk, singular form. We add s to it, it becomes desks. So s here is a suffix which is an inflectional suffix. Here are some of the more examples of derivational suffixes. Amaze is a verb. We add ment to it, it becomes amazement, which is a noun. Next up, accident, which is a noun. We add al, a suffix to it, it becomes accidental, which is an adjective. Some more examples of suffixes now. First of all, first example, suffix al. Now the meaning of this word is relating to. So first of all, first example, national. We have added al to nation. So the meaning of national is relating to or characteristic of a nation, common to a whole nation. Here I like to mention one more thing. Nationalism. We add ism to national, another suffix ism to national, which was formed by adding the suffix al to nation. We get nationalism, right? G.B. Shaw once said that nationalism is the feeling that my country is superior to yours because I was born in it. Kindly think about it, whether you agree to it or not. Here comes the other example. Comical. Again, AL suffix has been added to comic. So the meaning becomes amusing, especially in a ludicrous or absurd way. Second example of a suffix, ER. Meaning is comparative. When we have to compare two things, we use ER. So here are the examples. Bigger, of a considerable size or extent, but in comparison to someone or something else. Likewise, stronger, having the power to move heavy weights or perform other physically demanding tasks. But the important thing, whenever we use the suffix ER, it will always be for comparative form. By comparative form, I mean that there will be comparison between two things or two people. He can be bigger than the other person. But if there are 10 people, then he is the biggest of all the people. Likewise, he is stronger of the two, but he is strongest of them all. So ER suffix is for comparative form and EST suffix is for superlative form. We move forward. The third example of the suffix, it is IBLE, suffix IBLE. Now it is used in the sense of forming an adjective. Whenever we want to form an adjective, we can use this suffix. Here are the examples. Reversible, able to be turned the other way around. Anything which can be worn from both sides can be called as reversible. Likewise, terrible. Now this is an interesting thing. Terrible literally means extremely bad or serious. Now many times students have this feeling that in this case IBLE has been added to the word terror. That's not the case. Please keep in mind that IBLE has been added to the root TERR here, which is from Latin and it means to frighten. So I repeat again, in the case of terrible, IBLE has been added to the root word TERR. TERR means to frighten. Here in the word terrible, IBLE has not been added to the word terror. Kindly remember. Now we should shift to the next example. Next example of suffix. It is ILY. It is used in the context of forming an adverb. So here are the examples. First example is eerily, which means in a strange and frightening manner. So in this word, ILY has been added to the word eerie, which means frightening. Happily, in a happy way, pretty simple. ILY has been added to the word happy. Lazily, ILY has been added to lazy, which means in a manner that shows an unwillingness to exert oneself physically. I hope all of you will not act lazily and you'll work hard on suffixes so that they become part of your active vocabulary. We move forward. The next example. Next suffix is LESS. Pretty simple one it is. It means without or, yes, not affected by. So here are the examples. Friendless, LESS has been added to friend, which means having no friends or alone. Tireless, having or showing great effort or energy. So here LESS has been added to tire, so word becomes tireless. Next example, suffix LY. Now this suffix is used to form an adjective again. Examples, clearly, which means in a clear manner or with clarity. Next up, hourly, done or occurring every hour. Next example, suffix NESS. This means denoting a state or condition. Here are the examples. Kindness, NESS has been added to kind. The meaning becomes the quality of being friendly, generous and considerate. Next up, wilderness. NESS has been added to wilder and the meaning becomes an uncultivated, uninhabited and inhospitable region. Next example, suffix AL. It means action or process of. Examples are remedial, giving or intended as remedy or cure. So AL has been added to remedy. Denial, the action of denying something. AL has been added to deny. And trial, a formal examination of evidence by a judge, typically before a jury, in order to decide guilt in a case of criminal or civil proceedings. Next example, suffix DOM. Now, it has the meaning of place or state of being. Example, freedom, the power or right to act, speak, or think as one wants. Freedom of speech, for instance, is very important. Stardom, the state or status of being in a very famous or talented entertainer or sports player. Whenever someone is very famous as an actor, as an entertainer, as a player, we say that he has stardom. So here DOM has been added to star to form the word. Boredom, the state of feeling bored when one is totally fed up, does not feel like doing anything. So DOM has been added to bore and it becomes boredom. So with this we reach the end of this video. I hope the concept of suffixes it is clear to you, and I'm pretty sure that you'll go on working on suffixes and you'll learn a lot more words by forming them on your own. Thank you so much. Have a great day.